It doesn't look like my signature.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Are we really going to see an American president brought down and put in prison because of a relationship he may or may not have had with a porn star? It seems absurd.
What's up, you all? Welcome back. I'm Van, and we are all the LFR family. Thank you so much for clicking play. Hopefully you click that like button as well. And happy Resurrection Day to everyone. Hopefully I'm not dating back my video, but more than likely I am by saying that. All right, so we all know what's going on in the news, how they're trying to bury Trump over some BS, right? Well, apparently Stormy Daniels had an interview, a one-on-one interview with Piers Morgan, and she told him some things about whether or not she wanted Trump to go to jail. She told him that she lied when she was supposed to sign a form that she wrote, allegedly, that she's claiming that she did not write, but she was forced to sign it. So she signed her name wrong and all this other stuff. So I guess that gives her a pass. I sign my name wrong all the time. It's still my signature, and I'm still held accountable for the things that I sign.
All right, our very own Piers Morgan, he sat down for an interview with Stormy Daniels, who, of course, is at the center of Alvin Bragg's case against Donald Trump. Now, Piers asked her if she wants Donald Trump to go to jail. Here's what she said.
Would it give you any kind of closure with your time involving Donald Trump to see him jailed?
Specific to my case, I don't think that his...
Okay, see, calling her horse face is kind of mean. And I apologize for doing that. You know what I mean? That's mean-spirited, especially on Resurrection Sunday. But she's not nearly as becoming as I thought that she might be, especially being that she was in the adult business and whatnot. But age catches up with us all. So I'm not going to even jump on that. I'm not the most attractive guy in the world either. But yeah, it's unfortunate that the extortionist becomes the victim in this type of situation, and the person that's running for office is now the enemy of the state, the enemy of the country, all because of one person's word. And that's ridiculous, man. She did realize that this man was married. She was coming from the outside, Bathsheba, and she was just trying to, I guess, break up a happy home, I suppose, or just get her little piece of it, because in her lane and where she worked, how she moved, lacking integrity, lacking character, she did not mind. She wanted to rip up his stuff. It is what it is.
Specific to my case, I don't think that his crimes against me are worthy of incarceration.
Okay, and Piers also asked Stormy about this infamous, we've read this many times, we've shown it to you many times, 2018 letter in which she denied having an affair with Donald Trump. And she signed her name to it. Take a look.
Right, so people point to the contents of this letter and they say, well, what changed? I mean, you couldn't have been more categoric in saying...
I was still under the NDA. Michael Cohen wrote that and had me sign it, and I didn't want to, which is why I signed my name wrong right before I went on Kimmel and pointed it out.
How did you sign your name?
It doesn't look like my signature.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So everything about what she does is a lie. Even if she's being forced to sign something, how are you being forced to sign something? What do they do to force you exactly? If you're under an NDA and that's covered by law, and someone forces you to do something, how did they force you? Did they put a gun in your head? Did they show you pictures of your kids and say, you sure do have a nice looking family, I would hate to see something happen to them? Like, what do they do? I would like to hear all of that, because every single thing she's saying right now is coming off as a lie.
But you were still under the NDA, so you felt obliged to do this.
I was told if I didn't, they'd sue me for the $20 million or whatever it was.
I was told that if I didn't sign this, then they will sue me for $120 million. Just the same way that you were told that if you come forward with stories about Trump, that you will be paid a certain amount of money from his enemies at the time. So you made your choices. So if you making your choices, this right here is one of the, I guess, it's just one of the little parts of it. Like, you started this whole train. You got to understand that if you never would have stepped into this position, you would not even been involved. There would not have been an NDA. There would not have been any threats of suing you. There wouldn't be any of that. But now you're back. Nobody threatened you to come back. Who threatened you to come back? Nobody threatened you to come back. What happened is somebody enticed you to come back, and you took the bait again because you have nothing going for yourself, because you made, it was your lack of good choices that you made in your career or lack thereof, and you need a payday at this point, and you need some type of buzz. You need something to go for you, something to go well for you at this moment. And they came again the same way that they did back in 2012. So they came back to you and it was like, yo, or 2016, they came back to you and it was like, yo, we want you to do this again. Can you do it? And she was like, sure, I don't have nothing else going on. Why not? Let me go ahead and get in the shower right quick, put on some deodorant and wash and brush my teeth.
I had not been released from the NDA.
All right, here now is Piers Morgan. Piers, welcome to the show. Good to have you back.
Thank you, sir.
Happy Resurrection Sunday to everyone.
You know, so I'm a fan. By the way,
great audience, Sean. Tonight. Fantastic audience.
They're great. They love you too.
I wish I was there. I wish I was in New York.
We'd love to have you. We'd love to have you.
Very rarely and very seldomly do we get this type of energy from a Fox News show, because they don't usually do these type of shows in front of audiences, but it must be a special type of show.
All right, so, and by the way, we used to be competitors, you know. He once worked at fake news CNN. And he's glad now.
He used to beat my ass every night in the ratings. He used to kill me.
Thank you, best auntie ever.
But you talked about America and guns, and I'm like, every time you talked about guns, I'm like, yes, they don't want to be lectured by a Brit about our gun laws. We believe in our Second Amendment. But we became good friends, and you know, I was thinking about this because your show's doing phenomenal. You had Donald Trump, Boris Johnson, I believe you had recently, Ron DeSantis recently, Bibi Netanyahu recently. You go to all those people, and now Stormy Daniels? I was a little surprised. But I'm really curious about this because the issue of an NDA is very specific, that somebody will agree to accept a certain amount of money, and in exchange, they say they will not disclose whatever the incident is about. Whether it's true or not true, you know, I believe in the old-fashioned way. A handshake is a deal, but I'm old school. So did she agree to the NDA or not? Did you get that out of her?
Well, I think it's complicated and it's very interesting. And let me just say at the start that Donald Trump, as I said in the course of the interview, has always emphatically denied any affair. She has emphatically said there was one. And there was, of course, undeniably, this NDA, which was agreed between them just before the 2016 election. So,
you know what? I apologize. Is she doing this for money, or is she doing this because of love? Is she doing this because she's hurt? Is she doing this because she actually was in love with Trump and he promised her the world and then he backed out of it for political ambitions? I mean, whatever the case may be, or he backed out of it because, you know what? I love Melania and I want to do right by her and I don't want to deal with you anymore. What was the case? Because I don't understand why she is in the forefront of this whole debacle. This is ridiculous, man. It's a fiasco if you look at it.
All those things are as they are. But the question is, was she released from that NDA? And before she was released, was she compelled to deny the affair? She said very strongly in the interview that in January 2018, when the Wall Street Journal, Washington Post, whichever one it was, broke the story about this deal that they'd done before the 2016 election, she said that she was under pressure from Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's lawyer, that she had to go along with denying any affair. Otherwise, she would be in breach of the NDA and she would have to pay $20 million. And she really believed that.
Hopefully, see, this is the thing. As Piers Morgan is asking the wrong questions, in my opinion. I would like to hear him ask, who brought you the offer so that you can come to the table with this story in the first place? Like, were you just watching TV and you were seeing that Trump was running for office and you just got so pissed off in your spirit that you decided to write with nobody pushing you or anything? You decided to just type up a letter or call somebody at MSNBC or CNN and say, I got a story for you. What was the case? Were you trying to will and deal whatever bits of, I don't know, pieces that you can sell? I mean, because y'all got to think too, if selling her body was her occupation, then selling anything else would not be demeaning for her. It won't be beneath her. It's actually on brand. You know what I mean? If she's selling everything else, she'll sell her story. This is her thing. Like, my whole thing is that I'm not loyal to anybody. I can care less about this person. Clearly, I can care less about his family. I can care less about him. I can care less about his supporters, any of that. This is all about me. So now she has to sign an NDA that says you can't say anything else. So are you going to sign it? So she signed the NDA. Why did you sign the NDA? And then why did you sign this other this other document saying something completely opposite? To me, she's coming off as a complete liar. A complete liar. And he's being arrested for this? This makes absolutely no sense to me.
So I think that's probably true. The question then is, what happened after that? Well, very quickly after that, she sued to be released from the NDA. And Donald Trump, because he hadn't signed the NDA himself, it was all done by others, including Michael Cohen, he actually, in that court process when she sued, released her from the NDA effectively and said, look, I didn't sign it, and she's no longer has to abide by it. And on the back of that, she went out and did interviews, including with Anderson Cooper at CBS and others. And Donald Trump, to my knowledge, has taken no legal action against her or those networks as a result of her talking about what she says was the affair. So that's the chronology here. But what's interesting, Sean, I thought...
Y'all talking about watching debates. I would like to see a debate between Trump and Stormy Daniels. I think that would be hilarious. Please let me know in the comments if you would like to see a debate between Trump and Stormy Daniels. I think that would be a phenomenal debate. See, I would know how to put together a good debate. They not putting together the right debates, man. They not. But I would like to see it.
My takeaway was what she then said about this whole case. Because it doesn't really matter who you believe about the affair. That's not what this court case is now about. The court case is about whether there was some kind of cover-up, what the $130,000 was all about, and that is really what is at the center of what happened in Manhattan this week. I share your view, for what it's worth, that it's a massive overreach, and I think Stormy Daniels shares that view, and she's the woman at the center of the Stormy, if you like, and I think she shares the view that this is all a bit over the top. Are we really going to see an American president brought down and put in prison because of a relationship he may or may not have had with a porn star? It seems absurd.
It's absurd that and I mean no disrespect to Piers Morgan for saying this, but the fact that he feels like she has a leg to stand on by even making that type of comment, that she feels like this is a bit over the top. No, what's over the top is you coming forward with this BS story in the first place. You giving somebody some type of fuel and some type of ammunition to use against somebody and then saying, wait, y'all are doing too much. I didn't know it was going to go this far. No, you shouldn't have started it in the first place. You shouldn't have been that type of egotistical, all for self, like completely for self type of individual that you are, and now you're crying saying that you believe that it's going too far. That's not even genuine. None of what she's doing right now is authentic, but the fact that she is selling herself. She's what, 50 something years old. She's no longer out there making any money in that type of world. Well, no, I stand corrected. I'm sure if she boned, if she can let people know or make people believe that she had sex with Trump, then 9 times out of 10, her stock probably went up. There's probably some old men out there who can't wait to jump her bones simply because she has Trump on her business card. It's like she's going around passing it out. Yeah, I did Trump. So my prices has gone up from $1,000 an hour to $10,000 an hour. So of course she's going to use that. This is all business to her. She can give a damn that Trump is going through what he's going through right now. She don't care.
So I think that putting it all in context, Stormy Daniels is entitled to her opinions. Donald Trump is entitled to his emphatic denials. But ultimately, she shares the view of what I think is what most people think, which is that this is a huge overreach going on this case in Manhattan.
There is a timeline problem, and the timeline is this. She signs the NDA, fine. The election happens. The allegation is Donald Trump wanted Michael Cohen to do this, even though Michael Cohen himself and Michael Cohen's lawyer said they did it without the knowledge of the Trump campaign or the Trump organization. Now, the timeline is money paid to Michael Cohen listed in the indictment all happened in 2017. Okay, so that would have been after the Michael Cohen agreement with Stormy. But the problem for them then becomes 2018 in February, when Michael Cohen's lawyer writes a letter to the FEC saying that the Trump organization, the Trump campaign, had absolutely nothing to do with this deal. This was between Michael and Stormy. So I think they got a big timeline problem. Do you see that?
Well, listen,
yeah, he's a fixer. Michael Cohen was a fixer, and now he's trying to save his own ass by coming out against Trump. Everybody's trying to save their own hide, bro.
Very complicated. There's no question.
No, it's not that complicated.
I've obviously.
You got all the payments were 2017. In 2018, they denied any payment was ever made by the Trump organization or the Trump campaign.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about the intricacies of what's happened in Manhattan. I'm talking about the timeline, which is Stormy Daniels sues to be released from the NDA, and Donald Trump allows her to be released from the NDA.
I want to interview Stormy Daniels. Can somebody set that up? I would love to interview Stormy Daniels. For real, I really would. Like, if there's a possibility, I'm gonna reach out to her. Who do I reach out to so I can sit? I know she won't go to Fox News. She won't sit on Fox News. I'm not Fox News. I'm not even far right, any of that. I'm just trying to get to the daggone truth of the matter. If you honestly, Stormy, if you honestly do not want to see this dude go to jail for this, and you know that they're overplaying their hand, if you really want us to believe that, then let me interview you. I want to know who called you up and what the price was. Like, what was the cost? How much did you bank when you first came forward to give your little story? And why did you do it? What was the whole point? Like, what did you expect to happen? Because you put your business out there, of course, and I believe, honestly, I believe that your price went up after you did it. Your calls for doing business per hour definitely skyrocketed after people found out that you had Trump, doing things to you. All right. Or whether it was a lie or was a truth, it was out there. It was out there. And once a lie get going, it don't even matter anymore whether or not it's the truth. People don't care about the truth that much anymore. I'm noticing that. But I would like to talk to Stormy and ask her questions that I know Piers wouldn't ask her, and also ask her questions that I know Fox News wouldn't ask her. But that's just me. Y'all let me know whatever y'all want me to know about this in the comments below. And if you have yet to hit that subscribe button, make sure you do so, man. Love y'all. Happy insurrection. Happy Resurrection Day.